It's November of 2024, and with a brand new month comes a brand new slate of movies. What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and we've officially made it to another month in 2024. This time, November is on the calendar, which means we have a brand new slate of movies to talk about, and I love talking about new movies with you guys. Love getting to speculate with you guys what we're going to get, if it's going to be any good, if it's worth seeing in theaters. But you know, this isn't just about my opinions. I'd love to know yours as well. So if there's any movies that I leave off of this list here today, let me know in the comment section down below what movies I didn't talk about. Maybe they're going to streaming services, maybe they're limited releases. Let me know about them and if you're excited to see them, and I'll see if I can add them to my list. And as always, don't forget to check back throughout the month because I'll be doing quick reactions for all new releases that I see in the YouTube short section, and I'll be doing full movie reviews for most, if not all, of the brand new movies that I see as well. And if this is the first time you're finding my channel, well, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. Check out all the different content on my channel, whether it be movie reviews, Blu-ray talk. I've got a little bit of everything on my channel, and I'd love for you to check it out. And with all that out of the way, let's get into November 2024 brand new movie releases. On November 1st, guys, we get 4 brand new movies. The first one is called Juror Number 2, and Juror Number 2 is directed by Clint Eastwood, and it stars Nicholas Hoult as the title character, Juror Number 2. And I don't know much about this, but just with those two people involved, I was really excited for this movie. And then the production company did something really weird and made it a very limited release, where this movie is only opening in 50 movie theaters around the country. It's not playing anywhere near me that I can figure out, so this is one I'll have to personally wait for streaming, but let me know if you get a chance to go see it and if it's any good. The next movie coming out on November 1st is called Here, and Here is a Robert Zemeckis film starring Tom Hanks, and it's essentially about generations of the same family living in the same house, and my understanding is that you only see one room of this house, like the living area of this house, and all of the different actors and actresses just look different, portraying different members of the family throughout the different generations. It's a weird concept, but one that has me intrigued and one I will be checking out very soon. The third movie coming out on November 1st is called Absolution, and Absolution stars Liam Neeson, and I didn't even bother getting a description of this movie off of IMDb because honestly, it's a Liam Neeson movie and he's out for some sort of absolution or some sort of vengeance, because that is what Liam Neeson does these days. He has 2 or 3 movies a year that come out where he's an old guy but still a badass and he's avenging someone, and Absolution is probably going to be the same thing. I'm not personally going to take time to watch this film, but if you do, let me know how it is. And the final movie coming out on November 1st, it's the headline movie for me this weekend, but it is a bit of a cheat because this is a re-released film, and it is Godzilla -1. Yeah, that's right. It's releasing one more time for the weekend of November 1st. It's playing, I think, all the way through Monday. Toho Studios is releasing it to the US on Blu-ray, so they're playing it in theaters one more weekend, probably to get that money from us one more time. But to be completely honest, that's fine with me because I want to see this absolute masterpiece on a big screen again. If you have not seen Godzilla -1 yet, take time to go see it on the biggest screen possible. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you don't have time, I think it is still streaming on Netflix. You can check it out there, but there's just a size difference when it comes to Godzilla, and it's an absolutely beautiful story and one that I highly recommend to everyone. So go check out Godzilla -1 on November 1st. Moving on to the second weekend in November, on November 8th, we get 2 brand new movies. The first one is called Elevation, and Elevation is a film that basically takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. That's the best way I can describe it, where you have a family going out to try and save more people, but they have to deal with these monsters that now inhabit our world. And I feel like ever since Quiet Place came out, we get 2 or 3 of these a year. Hell, even earlier this year, I saw a movie that did it really well called Arcadian, and of course it starred Nicolas Cage, and that was the best thing about that movie. But my point is we get a couple of these a year, and so Elevation comes out on November 8th. Will you be checking it out? But the headline movie for November 8th, the one I'm most looking forward to, and honestly one of my 3 most anticipated movies until the end of the year, and it is Heretic. And Heretic is a film, at least in the trailers, where you have these 2 girls that are going door to door asking people if they want to hear the good word about Jesus Christ. And when they get to one guy's door, played by Hugh Grant, they're invited in. And they say, well, we're not allowed in unless there's a woman around. And he goes, well, my wife's sleeping in the back. Is that okay? And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. So they come in and he says, oh, I'm baking blueberry pie. And they have a nice conversation. And then he says, oh, I'll be right back. And he goes into another room and they hear the door lock. And they start to realize that there's something really really funny about this house. And then they see a candle that says blueberry pie on it that's been lit. And so there is no blueberry pie cooking, and they realize they're now trapped in this person's house. And that's enough for me. That is the trailer, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. It got a lot of great reviews at Fantastic Fest last month, so I'm excited to see Heretic on November 8th. I will be there on opening day. Now, on the third weekend, we only get one brand new release, and it is RedOne. And RedOne is a film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Chris Evans, and they both have been given a very important Christmas task, and that task is to save Santa Claus, because Santa Claus in this film, played by J.K. Simmons, has been kidnapped. And so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Chris Evans, and a lot of magic, have to go and try and save not only Santa Claus, but Christmas itself. And honestly, this movie's right up my alley. We just finished with Halloween. I'm ready to get into the Christmas spirit. A couple years ago, we got a movie called Violent Night, which I absolutely loved. Now, this movie is not rated R, so I don't think it's going to be as intense as Violent Night, but if it has a fun Christmas story to it, this is one I'm very excited about. So I will be seeing RedOne on opening day. Will you? Moving on to the fourth weekend in November, we get two brand new movies on November 22nd, and I'm not sure which movie to call the headline movie of the weekend because they're both big box office films that are supposed to draw a lot of people into them. The first of which is Wicked, and Wicked is, of course, the movie live-action adaptation of the Broadway play, and Wicked stars Ariana Grande, Cynthia Aviro, I think that's how you say her name, and of course Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard. The only reason I would go see this movie, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing drawing me into a musical, but when you throw Jeff Goldblum into it, it's probably something I'm gonna see on opening weekend. And the other movie coming out on November 22nd, the headline movie for me that weekend, is Ridley Scott's Gladiator II. I am so excited to see this movie. If you had asked me in Ridley Scott's franchise which movie would get a sequel, I never would have guessed that Ridley Scott would do a sequel to Gladiator, but here we are. The movie stars Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, and Denzel Washington. The movie looks incredible in the trailers. The only thing about the trailers that I wasn't a huge fan of was the rap song, and I know a lot of people have already covered that. A lot of people were sort of turned off when they went from this epic battle music to a rap song by Jay-Z. It just didn't fit the trailer. So hopefully that's just to try and draw people in, and Ridley's not actually going to use rap songs throughout the entire film, because again, it just won't set the same tone that the first Gladiator film did. But this movie does have big shoes to fill, because if it's going to come behind Gladiator, Russell Crowe's, Joaquin Phoenix's incredible performances in Gladiator, it has to have some incredible performances and some incredible fight scenes, and that's what I'm hoping we get. So Gladiator 2 comes out on November 22nd. I definitely will be there on opening day. Oh, and it's the last movie off of my most anticipated movies of the year list that I made earlier this year that I need to see, so I will be doing a full ranked list of those movies once I see Gladiator 2, so keep on the lookout for that. And the final weekend of the month, on November 27th, we get two brand new movies. The first one is a Netflix film, and it's called Our Little Secret, and it stars Lindsay Lohan, and for that reason, I will watch the movie. Now, it's probably going to be like her last Netflix film, which is basically a Netflix version of a Hallmark movie, and it's made around the holidays, and it's just there to spread more holiday cheer, and it stars Lindsay Lohan. But you know what? That's enough for me. In Lindsay Lohan, I trust. You see my Mean Girls poster back there. Yeah, she's awesome, so I'm excited to see Our Little Secret on Netflix. And the final movie on November 27th, and the last movie we're going to talk about here today, is Moana 2. Did you know there was another Moana movie coming out? Because I didn't realize it. I've had it written in my notes and just completely blinked it out of my head. Haven't seen any trailers for it, but here's the thing. I'm gonna take my kids to this on opening weekend. All of my kids love the first Moana movie, so I will be taking them to see that, but I am interested to see how the movie plays out, because I heard that this movie was actually a series that was developed for Disney Plus, and then they were like, wait a minute, we like money. Why don't we take this series, turn it into a movie, and put it in theaters, and parents will be forced to take their kids. It worked very well because I'm going to take my kids to see it. But Moana 2 comes out on November 27th, and I will be taking my kids. Will you be going to see it? And will you be taking your kids if you have them? With that said, though, guys, those are all the films that I'm looking forward to in November of 2024. If there's something I left off this list, don't forget to throw it in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, because it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. right, guys, we got to the end of my November 2024 brand new movie releases, and I love doing these videos. There's just something about speculating about upcoming movies that I love. Also, this is the first video in 2 months where I've got the posters changed back to the regular posters, and I decided to move them around in my basement. So Batman is back, but Mean Girls and Last Duel and Turtles, they were all over there before. So now you guys are getting to see those for a couple months. So yeah, there you go. With all that said though, guys, if you like this video and you want to check out other content on my channel, well, I've got all of my best and worst of 2024 right there. And I've got all of my 2024 movie reviews right there.